Thank you very much. Thank you all very much for coming to this birthday show. This is not going to be a midlife crisis. This is going to be a midlife crisis celebration. Thank you all for being here for that. I love performing here at the Lyric Hyperion. It's just so warm and intimate, and it just feels like you're performing in a living room. And that living room just happens to be covered in pictures of grumpy babies and grumpy sailors. Didn't look at the walls when you came in. Look on the way out and feel haunted all evening. Absolutely lovely. Also thrilled to be live streaming this show. Yes. Big round of applause for people who got to stay home and still see the show. Good on you. We're very happy for you. We are going to try to make sure that everyone at home has the same kind of experience like they're here in the room with us. So at a couple different points, we might try to describe some smells. I think this theater has a real classic sort of indie fringe smell. It's sort of this great combination of hairspray and sweat and bravery mixed ever so slightly with spilled craft beer. I also feel I should warn, particularly the people watching at home, that there are going to be some adult themes in the show, some adult jokes, some naughty F words. Not too many, though. It's going to be like a very nice, friendly show with just a little bit of edge. This show is basically like that picture that goes around the internet of Mr. Rogers flipping off the camera. It's going to feel like that, looking at that for about 90 minutes straight. I didn't actually realize that I'd made the gesture until I saw I was flipping off the nice people who came to my birthday show. So I do apologize for that. So we've got all the warnings out of the way. It's going to be a very cathartic evening. It is a birthday show, but I want to be clear that tonight is not actually my birthday. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm going to be busy celebrating it in the normal fashion by buying action figures and drinking martinis. Yes. I realize that specific combo makes it difficult to guess what my age is. Is he an adult with a problem or a child with a problem? There's definitely a problem there. But in just a few moments, I am going to tell you my age, and it is going to be very liberating because I have not actually spoken my age out loud in public for years and years. When I first got here to Los Angeles, I got some advice from a good friend who said, people are weird about age in Los Angeles. Don't tell anyone. Even if you're not trying to be an actor, even if you're not on screen, if you're just trying to be a writer, if you're trying to sell hot dogs at Pink's, don't tell anyone your age. Go to the DMV at night if possible. Don't tell anyone your age. And I got a chance to test this theory pretty quickly. I got involved in this project, and this producer asked me to come to her house to pitch it. And when I say house, I mean her mansion on the top of a hill in Brentwood, one of the richest places in the world. So I drove my beat-up little Toyota Yaris up this hill to meet this very powerful, very rich woman. I go inside and pitch the show, and that all goes well, and it's all friendly. And she's like, well, why don't you stay for lunch? And she snapped her fingers and had her servant bring us many mystery salads. We got into just a friendly, calm conversation about movies and stuff, and the actor Shelley Winters came up. And I said, oh, I love Shelley Winters. And she said, no, you don't. You can't. You're too young to know who Shelley Winters is. And I had to disagree with that, because I feel we're all aware of people who existed before us. Like the way we're all aware of our parents. I've never had an experience where I'm like, I know he's there, but I can't perceive Dick Van Dyke. It's never happened to me. So I assured her, like, no, I do know who Shelley Winters is. And she was like, no, how old are you? And I told her the truth. I said, well, I've got advice from a friend that I shouldn't tell people my age. And she was like, well, that's silly. Go on, tell me your age. tell me your age. And I was just full of panic. I considered lying. I considered jumping out of the window, just rolling down the hill like an action star. But I was in this woman's home. My mouth was full of her mystery salad, and I felt I had to be honest. So I said, well, I'm this many years old. And she dropped her fork and said, don't ever tell anyone that again. Don't, you can pass, you can pass, you can pass. And she just turned into this demon who hates high numbers. And I realized my friend was right. And ever since then, if anybody asks me in any sort of public or professional setting what my age is, I tell them that entire story. And they leave me the hell alone. Thank you. Thank you. But not tonight. Tonight, I am tired of the ageism. I'm tired of being frightened by scary demon producers. So I am going to tell you right now that tomorrow, Saturday, August 17th, 2024, around 8:37 a.m. Midwestern time, I will, through no fault of my own, become 50 goddamn years old. Thank you. Thank you. And from now on, I will strive to never be ashamed of my age. I will tell people, yes, I know who Shelley Winters is. I'm 62 goddamn years old. I'll be walking through the airport security and they'll stop me and they'll say, sir, is that a sword cane? And I'll say, yes, it's a sword cane. I'm 87 goddamn years old. I deserve a sword cane. I wish it was true that sword canes were just issued to 87-year-olds, because I feel we need more things to look forward to as we get older. I think aging in America is getting a little bit better, but I think it's been bad for a long time. When I was young, I absorbed a lot of information, and one of the biggest pieces of information that I absorbed about aging in America is that there are actually only 3 ages here in America. Not as old as you want to be, 25, and might as well be dead. People turn 26, 30, 40, 50 years old, and they're just like, what's the point of even going on? And I think the point is, you have years and years and years of your life left. It's like life is this delicious pizza, and it's cut into like 8, 9, 10 slices, and you eat the first 2 pieces, and they are hot and delicious, and you burn the roof of your mouth, and you're like, I don't even care. It hurt, and it made me feel alive. Good. And then you eat one small piece of the 3rd piece of pizza, and it's just slightly colder. So you rage flip the table, start screaming and crying and saying, I don't even want to finish this pizza. It's never going to be as good as those first 2 pieces. I guess I'll finish eating it, but I'm not going to like it. Just sit in the dark and gnaw on this cold shit pizza and watch YouTube videos of teenagers who don't know how to operate rotary phones. This is what I have now, mocking the young. This is what I am now. I do not want to be that person. I am going to try my hardest, even though aging is difficult, to cope, to have some camaraderie, to laugh about it. And I have this quote that really helps me with that. This quote comes from one of our great philosophers, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Yes. And this is a quote from the major motion picture event, Star Trek: Generations. Picard said, someone once told me that time is a predator that stalks us all our lives. But I rather believe that time is a companion who goes with us on the journey to remind us these moments will never come again. And I've always taken great comfort from that, until I remembered that that film is from 1994, which is 30 goddamn years ago, and I have more coping to do, so let's begin the Cope Fest. I have several wonderful guests here with me tonight. Hal Lublin is here. Audrey Kearns is here. Ken Napzok is here. And coming to the stage right now is my good friend, the man, the myth, the legend, Laser the Boy.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh. I know you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to give you a presentation about aging. I think we all need it. I'm aging. Anybody else? Yes. So this is what aging looks like, right? Let's all think about it a little bit. We all know what it looks like, right? Childhood, puberty, young adulthood, adulthood, middle age, etc. We don't talk about you anymore. But what if I told you it didn't have to be this way? What if I told you you could do puberty twice? That's right. You could do a little something like this. Now, this is something that I have done. And I'll be honest, you should give it a shot. I think everybody in this room should give it a shot. Now let's start with this. What is puberty? Okay? Puberty starts when a part of your brain called the hypothalamus begins producing a hormone called none of my business. The hypothalamus sends the GnRH to another part of the brain called the pituitary gland. Now, this signals the body to start activating testosterone or estrogen, depending on what your body's feeling at the time. That's how it works. Which starts developing a lot of the changes in your body, right? It's also a time, right? We do awkward, we do sweaty, we do horniness, but it's not just those things. It's also rediscovery, reinvention, and horniness. It's when you start to find yourself, right? You find your independence. You start finding who you want to love, right? You start growing out of your shoes and bleeding out of your vagina. But what if I told you you could do it twice? Second, puberty. Now, of course, there is a hormonal element, right? I started testosterone, injecting it into my cool stomach about... It's very cool. About almost exactly a year ago. But it's also a reinvention, and it's kind of a beautiful midlife crisis with new framing. I would say it's less expensive, but it isn't. I know it sounds hard, but there's actually a lot of things that you get to do in second puberty that I think all of you could benefit from. So here are some things that I got to do in second puberty that I think you should give a shot. Number one, do something new with your hair. You've been doing something with your hair and you've just been kind of evolving for a long time, if you're straight. And I think it's time for you to give yourself a little break, do something new with your hair, and let nobody say anything about it, because you're going through second puberty. Number two, find new role models. So here is mine. I go from Lena Dunham to Alan Cumming, right? And I think it's good for us to examine the things that we want to be, the things that we aim for. Do we have to have the same dreams we had as a kid? Have those dreams been shaped by what society told you could do? Fucking think about it. Trade your entire wardrobe with a friend. Now, I just think about somebody who's about your size, whose outfits you like. Maybe they want to switch their outfits with you. I did this with my good friend Becca. She looks fantastic in my dresses, and also I've given dresses to other people in this room as well. And then she gave me a bunch of Abercrombie shirts that for some reason she didn't like wearing. And it's just kind of a fun new way to try on a new personality. So I recommend doing that. Find a friend, trade wardrobes. Pick a new name. Now, I think a lot of people need to do this. My name is Laser. This is a name I picked myself. It's very cringe and a big problem for a lot of people. People like to ask me if my parents were physicists. Dentists like to not stop asking me, even when it's clear I don't want to answer the question, how did you get the name Laser? Although it turned out he just wanted to talk about his laser, which, good for him. It's annoying to have the name Laser, but I'm keeping it for the culture. And I'm also keeping it because people I meet one time will not forget my fucking name, right? Which is now a problem for me because all of you are named Katie, okay? All of you are named Katie or John, and how am I supposed to tell you apart? Pick a goddamn new name, okay? And check in on your friendships, okay? Assess all of your friends and think about whether they would stick with you if you became a cultural scapegoat. Now, that does sound sad, but the bright side is you don't have to meet as many extended family members. And I am over meeting other people's extended family members. If you don't understand they, them pronouns, I don't want to share a rum with you. I'm so sorry. It's really not that hard. Now, it's not all about gender and changing your hormones, right? That all of those things you can do without changing gender and changing your hormones. But maybe you should give that a shot as well. I think there's a lot of things you don't know that I know because I've done both genders, both of the major legal genders. I also was non-binary for 4 years, and I don't want to recommend that because it's hard. You should give it a shot, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you start on hormones, which you will soon, you learn a lot of things. It's going to change the way that your brain thinks about sex, for example. I went from liking straight men in a straight way to being bisexual in a trans way to liking gay men in a gay way. It's kind of fun, and honestly, I like that I got to do all three. I also used to have strong emotional connections with people I slept with, and now I don't care. I barely understand that there are other human beings in the world, and I think that's growth that we should all experience. I also got a new voice. Oh, wait, no, this isn't. Okay. I also got a big empathy upgrade, right? I used to not understand or care how men thought or felt at all. And now it's all I care about. It's basically a hardcore empathy immersion when you go through hormone therapy. My brain has now experienced having a woman-branded life and a man-branded life. And they really are just like different brands. Like an Olive Garden versus like a fancy restaurant, like a Mozza or a Chateau Marmont. What do I mean by that? Thanks for asking. Being a woman is like going to a Michelin star restaurant. First of all, you have to dress up. Right? It kind of feels like you're in trouble all the time, either by the chef or by the government. It seems like people are mad at you. Everything is more expensive when you're a woman, but also if you follow the rules, people notice you and want you to have a good experience. Now, on the other hand, when you're a man, you can wear whatever you want. You can feel confident in your choices and opinions. As soon as I started HRT, my opinions became facts in my head. That's true. I can speak confidently on any issue that I know almost nothing about, and it feels great. You can get rewarded for just showing up with things like unlimited breadsticks or a high-paying job. Then, of course, the final point is nobody cares if you live or die. I also have gotten a new voice. I've undergone some physical changes, and when you go on testosterone, your voice drops, which is nice, but I also took some vocal training lessons, which taught me how to use different points of resonance in my voice, so I can, code switch when I'm on the phone and be like, hey, yeah, totally a girl or a gay person, and then just like, go away. Those are the two genders. It's wonderful, I think you should all experience being different people to the world. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I went to a doctor for a problem, and I told this doctor, this is something that's been persisting in my life. I've been working on it. And he said, okay, here are some lifestyle changes you can make. Here is, a non-intrusive medication. And I left, and of course, it did nothing. I came back to the same exact doctor, put a little M on the form instead of an F, had a little bit different of a voice and a vibe. I told him the medication he had treated me with, and he said, well, that was never going to work. We should pull out the big guns. Anyway, I recommend being a man if you can. I guess that's my point. What I recommend to you is, well, just remembering that nothing fucking matters. Perception is everything, and yeah, that's what it's all about, baby. This is the number for the LGBT Center, so you can start hormones on the same day you get your first appointment. I recommend it very much, and that is my presentation. Thank you.
Laser! Laser is going to be doing a great thing to help me out in the show. I love ending shows with like a big finale. I love ending shows with songs. Slight problem is that I cannot sing at all. So Laser is going to end the show by performing a song about aging.
Yes.
That he is going to write during the rest of this show. And to make it more fun, we're going to get a couple of suggestions from you, the audience. In just a second, I'm going to ask questions, and if you want to get involved, simply shout out an answer. If you deeply don't want to interact, stare intently at your own lap so I don't do anything upsetting. So, with that in mind, is there a specific word that anyone would like to hear in this song?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Batman. Excellent.
Fuck off, Katie.
And is there a specific emotion that anyone would like to hear in this song? Joy. Oh, these two things are connected. Batman and joy, aren't they? And finally, is there a major weather event that you would like to hear about in this song? Tornado.
Great.
Laser, do you have that?
I have my assignment. Thank you very much.
Batman, Joy, Tornado.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song already.
Fantastic. Thank you, and happy birthday, Joseph.
Thank you. Laser, everybody! So everyone that I invited to do the show is someone that over the last 10 years in Los Angeles, I've roped into doing a long-term show with me. So the next person coming up with the show does the Force Center podcast with me. So I get to see this person 2 to 3 times a week, but I never know if he's wearing pants. It's a totally mystery pants situation as we record over the internet. I'm very delighted to have him here with pants and everything. If people go to many stand-up shows here in LA, they'll know that the standard way to bring up a comedian is to list the all-important credits. So you get weird introductions to people like, well, coming up next, he was on Law & Order SVU 2.5 times 15 years ago, and he wrote for an animated series that David Zaslav wiped from the face of the earth. Come on. And that does not tell you anything emotional or qualitative about the human being. So here are the credits in my mind. He is my friend. He is funny. He is made of charm and 7-Eleven hot dogs. Welcome to the stage, Ken Napzok.
I got pants this time. I got pants. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Give it up for Laser the Boy coming out before me. I gotta tell you, of all the performers on stage, you would think that the straight white guy with the beard and beanie would be the one that said there's only 2 genders. But Laser got there first. You would think me. No, we're gonna have a good time. I am very, very thrilled to be performing on a birthday show. Much more fun than the funeral last week, which was Little Rock, Arkansas for 6 shows. That's actually very true. So true, it's painful. We also have a live audience watching on the internet. Give it up for the live audience on the internet. I figured to make them feel comfortable, I got to do what every comic has to do these days. You do crowd work, and if you're a misogynist enough, you get a special on Netflix. Where's the camera? Here we go. All right, everyone at home. Hey, you in Tennessee, you got a dog? Love that. That's great. Crowd work is done. All right. Give it up for Joseph Scrimshaw, turning the big 5-0. He owned it. He owned it. He owned it. Joseph is slightly older than me, and I love having a friend that is slightly older than you. because they get to those big obstacles, those big kind of age numbers before you, and I get to act like the young puppy, like, hey, how does it feel? How does it feel? Do you have all the answers? What parts still work? What? Tell me. But he's there, he's owning it. Again, happy to be here, happy to be on this show. If you don't mind, I'm gonna sit down for a little bit. Not because I'm one of those comics that thinks he's a modern day philosopher. I hurt my back recently riding a horse on a video game called Red Dead Redemption 2. Is anyone else? No? Okay. All right. We're having a good time. I'm doing some jokes about aging. It's not necessarily, Joseph didn't say, hey, the theme is getting fucking old. I think it's all in our mind. And I think aging is an honor. I think about that every day that I wake up. Or, correction, every day I'm on my back for about 5 minutes like a turtle trying to get enough momentum to turn over that needs like a celebrity charity to come rescue him. Like that's... When you get older, every day you're faced with questions you were not faced as a kid. Like when I go into that bathroom every day, I'm like, if I sit down, am I gonna get up today? Is that it? I might never get up. If I sit down there, that's a poop joke, everybody. Stand up. Aging changes you, too. Aging changes you in a way of, I think your perspectives change. That's a good thing. I'm a big nerd. Any nerds in here? Round of applause for nerds. I host a Star Wars podcast in my underwear every Monday. It's great. No, I'm a big nerd. I love epic myths. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, an actual free market society instead of crushing capitalism. Like, I like myths, right? I like myths. But all that changes as you get older. You start seeing the things you love with a new perspective. Like, Luke Skywalker's hero's journey inspired me growing up, right? Luke Skywalker's journey. You can applaud for Luke's journey. Yeah, I don't know if any... I'm a comic. I pander. But now, when I watch Star Wars, I'm like, I don't know. I think Uncle Owen was right. like, why don't you sit down, get back to work, go farm some moisture, all right? You little Gen Z space boy, what are you doing? I want something more. I want to be a hero. Get back to work, all right? Here's your blue milk. This is how we do it, okay? Bilbo, do you want to go on an unexpected journey? On a fucking Friday? No, absolutely not. Have you booked your hotel reservations? You know how hard it is for me to pack my heating pads for my back? No. We're not going anywhere. What are you, 20, Gandalf? Like, no, absolutely not. The King Robert Baratheon shows up. Ned, I would name you Hand of the King. You want me to leave my job? That I finally got tenure? I finally got fucking weekends off, Robert. You want me to move to a new city, make new friends, I'm 50. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the King's Road. Not doing that. And I think it's okay to change. I think change is important. I always say this, don't fight change, find your place in change. It's the way I look at things. Like I as a comic, like I don't fight for words that maybe we don't say anymore. Like I say sex worker now instead of girlfriend. Like it's a word of power, it's an agency, it's respect. And the judge was like, that's great, it doesn't change the charges. What do you plead? Guilty. Like, why do you think I'm here? I needed directions to the Beverly Wilshire Regent Hotel. And it's a weird time for comedy, and I'm not one of those folks who's worried about cancel culture. Number one, I'm not an asshole. Two, I grew up in the greatest cancel culture of all time. Not the Crusades, not the Salem witch trials, the satanic panic of the 80s. Anyone else? The satanic panic of the 80s. That's where everything fun had been infiltrated by Satan. Dungeons and Dragons, demonic. Gremlins, demonics. Smurfs, definitely demons. Rainbow Bright, hot. Or a demon, I don't know. Yeah, and that kind of forms you. True side story, there was one point in my childhood, about 1983, where the youth pastor from my church came and confiscated all my He-Man action figures. It was a weird day. He came to me, sat me down, and was like, do you have any of those muscle dollies in their underwear? Yeah, he's like, can I have them? I'm like, okay. I didn't know what to do. And like, they gave me David and Goliath figures. And I came up with this plan real quick. I was like, oh, great, awesome, yeah, can I have the next series? That was a lot of fun. I took the thing and he died, yay. They're like, oh my God, absolutely. We got the King David and Bathsheba set. I was like, give me that, give me that. And then I forced her husband to go to the front lines and die, and then I forced myself on her. They're like, we're gonna give your He-Man. I got my Bible figures canceled. I got my Bible figures canceled is what I did there. I hope Joseph doesn't mind. I actually have to handle some business as a comic here. It wasn't on his emails, but I've got to tell you about tonight's sponsor. Hey, friends. Thanks for coming out to comedy. Before we continue with this set, I need to take a moment to tell you about tonight's sponsor of this set. Tonight's sponsor is Man Soap. Make it personal for your audience. Guys, are you like me? Do you also need to be convinced to use soap while showering? Especially now that showers have gone woke, am I right? I'm not drizzling something hibiscus flavored over my body like some sort of groomer. What's hibiscus anyway? That sounds like sin. This is why I use Man Soap, the soap specifically designed to trick men into washing ourselves. They have great scents like fast food left in the car, day 4 of a comic book convention, and libertarian. All so you can take a shower without compromising your masculinity. You'll be clean, full of misplaced confidence, and get back to doing what we all do best, questioning science on a podcast. Man Soap. There you go. Got a couple minutes left here. I'll say this. When we make fun of our parents growing up of like, my dad's obsessed with the weather, my mom just sends cat videos. You'll get there. You'll get there. I'm obsessed with something called the Grocery Outlet. It's a grocery store in Burbank. I'm sure there's more of them, but that's my Shangri-La. And you'll probably say, but Ken, what about Costco? I don't fuck with Costco, okay? Okay? I don't. Costco is like the Disneyland of Whole Food places, all right? Of Whole Food outlets. All right, it's crowded, it's overpriced, too many families, okay? And Costco adults are worse than Disney adults. Like, I get it. The pizza is cheap and good. I got it. The chicken bacon's like an orgasm. Get the hell out of here. You guys wait 6 hours for gas. It's 10 cents cheaper a gallon, okay? Grocery Outlet is like the Magic Mountain of outlet stores, okay? All right? It's empty. It's cheap. It's probably gang territory. It's good. And here's one of the reasons I love it, and I get it. I'm probably going to get some people, maybe even in the comment section, be giving me the rules of comedy, all right? Speak power to truth, never punch down, farts are funny. I get it. But I'm standing by this. One of the big reasons I love the Grocery Outlet is everyone there is ugly. You're thinking, Ken, you don't do... No, I'm not punching down. I am reaching across and grabbing in. These are my people, all right? At Trader Joe's, everyone's like a hip artist with million TikTok followers. Everyone at Vaughn's look like they know what stocks to invest in before members of Congress do. Everyone at Whole Foods, like your clerk at Whole Foods, like I think he probably was on 2 seasons of that reality show Intercourse Bus. All right, I don't think so. No, and if you don't believe me, I brought my receipt. I brought my receipt from the last time I was there. Okay, all right. Look at this. This is true. I got a club wrap for $3.99. It's normally $4.99, which is a half off from where you get it now. It had to be eaten by 3 o'clock. At 2:58, I ate it in line, okay? All right? I bought a box of 32 Nutri-Grain bars. All right, and you're thinking, Ken, what do you need that? 32 Nutri-Grain bars? Do you trust Vladimir Putin to launch a nuke or not? No? Get the Nutri-Grain bars. And the thing is, they change every week because every time you go there, you don't know what trucks they've robbed to put it on their shelves. So it's like a mind game. I saved $56. Check it out. Ken, what's the end of that bit? It's not a fucking bit. Get up and go there. This show ends at 9:30. They close at 11. I'm leaving on this. I'm sorry. I ran the line. I'm leaving on this. Life comes at you fast. Aging, it's a thing, man. We always got to deal with it. Take the little moments. My fiance and I were out for a nice little walk the other day. It was beautiful. The sun was out. Birds were chirping. We had our little chihuahua with us. It was good. And we held hands. We don't fucking do that shit anymore. We held hands. But here we are. And there was this nice old guy, like I'm talking 80, not Joseph Old, like 80. And he was watering his lawn, and he looks at it, and he makes eye contact with me. He looks right at me, and he says, "You've got to treasure the moments that you can still hold your daughter's hand." I'm going to die soon. Thanks for the time.
Very good, energetic set. I'm sweating on behalf of him. I can feel the power of it. That was wonderful. Next up, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is so much fun for me to be doing a show. I haven't been performing as much because I've been trying to put a lot of energy into doing some filmmaking. I made several short films. I played the film festival circuit, and I'm working on a feature film, raising money for that. It looks like we're going to be able to shoot it in the fall, so it's all very exciting. So I thought, oh yeah, sure, yes. Really trying to get some things done before I die. So I thought, why not share one of the short films I've made and look to the future. One of the stars of the film is here, Ken's daughter, Grace Hancock. So this is a short film. If we're all ready to go in the booth, please enjoy The Demon's Commentary.
Hello and welcome to the DVD commentary track for the classic horror film, The Demon Down the Lane. I'm film historian Kyle Nieder. With me is the screenwriter, Myra Molo. Thank you for joining us.
Thrilled to be here.
And the director, Anson Trench.
Yes. Hello. Greetings to all the cinema lovers watching.
Now, am I right in saying this is the first time you two have been together in the same room since you shot the film in 1978?
Yes. That is correct.
No, we bumped into each other in the men's room at Musso and Frank in 82.
Ah, yes.
I didn't want to wait in line for the ladies' room.
Myra, always the iconoclast.
So, sitting here in 2002, what's it like to see this iconic opening shot?
Ooh. It's like watching a birth. This is the shot that created me.
Right, of course. The buzz about this shot got you your big break directing 100 Sundays, which you then won the Oscar for.
Yes, and a career was born.
If you need an Oscar to start a career, I'm fucked.
Now, Myra, you've had a long career in low-budget genre film. What does this scene mean to you?
Well, Kyle, I like that it's scary. Because I like horror.
Right.
As do I. As do I. I no longer work in the genre, but I am a fan.
Yeah.
So. Oh, there's the demon. Still scary after all these years, right?
Yes. Now I love what happens with the camera here. We think we're in the monster's POV, but suddenly we become passive observers.
A great visual metaphor for what happens to writers on a film set.
You joke, but I loved your script. It was a serious piece about raw humanity, not some B-movie with googly-eyed monsters.
Yeah, because you changed my script.
Oh, I've never heard that. Is that true?
Yes, the demon wasn't supposed to be a woman in makeup. She was a beast. Just a pile of shadows, teeth and rotten flesh and roving eyes and oozing wounds.
Yes. Well, I think we captured that spirit. A true sense of...
Mr. Trench?
Sorry. Sorry, I thought something brushed past my leg. Is there a cat in the recording booth?
No cats. Must just be the effective creepiness of your amazing film getting under our skin.
See that terror in her eyes? That's all you need. It's always scarier when something isn't there.
Oh, bullshit. People go to monster movies to spend time with monsters.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you really want some man in a rubber suit waving papier-mâché tentacles?
Yes, it would have been freakish and owned it. That was the point of my story. I liked awful monsters because they were the only thing more ostracized than me. And you sanitized that.
No, I took your juvenile trauma and turned it into something sophisticated. All right, something touched my thigh. What is in here?
Jesus, Anson. Did you do a line off your Oscar's ass this morning?
Okay, control booth, should we take a break? Control booth?
What is that? That sound is not in my film. It is not in. Oh God! It's on my back! It's crawling up my back!
Oh shit! I see it!
What?
I see it!
Where?
Right fucking there! It is all over him! Don't you see the claws and the fucking mess tentacles going down his... Oh God! No!
Help me! Please help!
Oh shit!
Let us out!
Oh shit! I see it now! The eyes! All of the eyes are on you, Kyle!
Please, not my face!
Oh God. Oh God, no. No. Oh God. Oh God, please, no. Oh God. No. Hey, buddy. Now we can watch the damn movie in peace.
Applause again for Grace and her wonderful performance. Many treasured hours of staring at that demon as we worked on putting that all together. I would like to now bring to the stage the two audio stars of the film, Hal Lublin and Audrey Kearns. Thank you both so much. I've had the honor of doing monthly shows with both Hal and Audrey, and I definitely wanted them on the show with me. I briefly considered having them do a commentary of the film, but I thought, no, I have this sketch that I really want to put out into the world, and Audrey and Hal are the perfect people to perform it. So this sketch is it's a little bit of venting. It's a thing that happens with fans talking about popular culture, but it really happens when writers hand in scripts to agents, managers, all that thing, where the note always comes back, make everything more clear, obvious, and explicit. The thing you explained, could you please explain it more? And I understand we all want things to make sense, no blatant plot holes, but there's a lot of push to explain everything, which kills mystery and joy, and I needed to vent about that. So Hal and Audrey are gonna help me vent with this sketch called Space Log. Enjoy.
Captain's log. Space-time 817.34. As I say at the start of every log, just for clarity, I am the captain. That's why I'm recording the captain's log. My name is Captain Armitage Shanks of the starship USS Expository. To be clear, the word expository is an adjective meant to describe describing something. It is not, as many people think, the name of a laxative. As I record this, we are mid-battle, and our lives hang in the balance. But I have faith we will survive due to the excellent work of my crew, particularly Chief Information Officer Lieutenant Andrea Factmouth. Here ends the captain's log. Lieutenant Factmouth, situation report.
Captain, we're in a battle with our mortal enemies, the cyber lizards.
Understood. Please describe their appearance.
They're a species of large, sentient lizards augmented with cybernetic body parts. They look like iguanas combined with vape pens, but scary.
Understood. And remind me of the backstory of our relationship with the cyber lizards?
Sir, the USS Expository is the flagship vessel of an interplanetary government called the Society of United Planets, or SUP for short. At the time that anagram was chosen, no one realized it would sound like a colloquialism for saying hello. Anyway, the cyber lizards are an aggressive group that believe in violence and domination. At least that's the understanding we get during the peace talks when they bite the heads off our negotiators.
And when you say bite their heads off, do you mean that literally or figuratively?
Both, sir. Although due to the evolution of language, literally and figuratively no longer have distinct meanings.
Excellent clarification. Now, is there any personal baggage between myself and the cyber lizards?
Oh my, yes. Yes, sir. One time they kidnapped you and genetically converted you into one of them. Another time they trapped you in an alternate dimension where you were a successful jazz singer, just so they can pull you out of it and make you feel bad that you weren't actually a jazz singer. They've also painted mean pictures of your face all over their spaceships.
That's a lot of baggage. And how did this encounter, the one we're currently in, actually begin?
You saw their ship on long-range sensors, and instead of avoiding them, you screamed, "It's time for payback!"
And so it is! How's our shield holding?
It's at 30% out of 100. Standard response would dictate now is a good time to fire back. Should I relay that command to our weapons officer, who is sitting right next to me?
Yes, but first, I have a very important question about our shield. Is it the kind that clings to the hull so it can't be seen, or does it extend outward from the ship like a bubble? I just want to picture it.
We have a bubble shield, sir, and it's down to 20%.
How did that happen so fast?
Well, the cyber lizard shot us 18 times while we were talking.
That makes good logical sense. Weapons officer, fire particle torpedoes. Lieutenant Factmouth, remind me what particle torpedoes are made of.
A volatile mixture of matter and antimatter. Also Mentos and Diet Coke.
Right. Is the Mentos and Diet Coke part a joke?
Affirmative, Captain.
Why would you make a joke during this very serious moment? Does that really make sense?
Yes. Yes, humor is a way that humans cope. So while it may seem incongruous to have a moment of levity in the midst of horror, it's actually an incredibly relatable thing to do. Also, the panel right next to me just exploded, and the weapons officer is now dead.
Describe.
The cyber lizard's last barrage broke through a weak spot in our bubble shield, causing a power surge that resulted in the panel exploding. Shrapnel punctured the weapons officer's left eye and entered his brain, killing him immediately.
Okay, gross. Follow up. Why do the panels on the bridge explode so often? That seems like bad design.
It totally is, sir. Our engineers would like to fix the problem, but they've been told the retrofit would be too expensive.
Well, that seems foolish. Is it?
Yes, sir. Prioritizing finances over human life is a cancer that eats our society from the inside out.
Acknowledged. Battle report.
Our shields are down to 10%. 5 more panels have exploded. The only people still alive on the bridge are you, me, and a botanical officer.
Is a plant expert in any way helpful at the moment?
No, sir. No. He probably shouldn't even be on the bridge, but it's nice to think that studying plants is important. Also, the hull was just breached, and the botanical officer has now been sucked into the cold vacuum of space. Emergency shields are now holding, which is why you and I aren't dead.
Good. For emotional clarity, the botanical officer was your best friend, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Did you feel anything when he died?
Not really, sir. I was too busy making sure everything made exact, perfect, logical sense. That said, I feel an anger, rising right now, but I have stuffed it down into a large steel box that lives inside my soul.
Quick
The
follow-up.
box is a metaphor. And the soul is a philosophical concept that can't be proven with existing technology.
I appreciate your thoroughness. So it's safe to say the situation is grim.
I'm not sure if you're asking about the ship or my soul, but the answer is yes. The cyber lizards will obliterate us in moments unless we take immediate action.
Got it. Let's talk options. Could we fire all lasers and torpedoes?
Yes, but that would only bring their shields down to 62% because their shields are better than ours.
Why?
They actually paid for the retrofits.
Got it. Oh. Could we invert the quantum entanglement field, creating a concentrated emission of neutron quarks, and fire it through the primary fuck-em-a-bob array?
Those are just some words you made up. We're gonna die.
Right. Now, why did I engage the cyber lizards when there was no chance of defeating them? I mean, what's wrong with me? Why did I do this?
Hubris, sir.
Explain.
Webster's dictionary defines hubris as exaggerated pride or self-confidence. But if I may expand, I believe you suffer from a delusion that inferior technology and tactical skills can be compensated for with the sheer power of your will. A belief that's been reinforced by the skill of others so many times that you have come to believe it's true. All of which is absolutely apparent through your actions, and yet here I am and explaining it to you. So no one reviewing these records could ever accuse us of the mortal sin of a plot hole.
Got it. Is it even accurate to describe my flawed internal life as a plot hole?
No. And yet, that won't stop anyone.
That hurts me. That hurts me in the soul I can't prove exists.
Sir, before we die, can I make a suggestion?
Please, do.
We could divert the majority of our remaining power to separate the bridge from the rest of the ship.
Won't the cyber lizard see us do that?
Not if we do it at the exact moment the rest of the ship explodes.
Wait. You said the majority of our remaining power.
I was hoping you'd hear that detail and ask about it, thus showing your potential for growth. We would use the remaining power to eject the botanical officer's large collection of exotic plants into space.
Right. The large field of beautiful flowers will confuse the cyber lizard sensors and hide our escape.
Exactly, sir. And also, using beautiful flowers collected by my dead best friend to escape our own certain death has an undeniable poetry to it.
So it does. Lieutenant Factmouth, will you be willing to explain that poetry in specific and soul-numbing detail?
Fuck no, sir. Fuck no.
And that's our sketch. Yes.
I realized after I asked them to do that sketch, they would follow up a film where they also fought with one another. And all of my writing is now going to simply feature Hal and Audrey fighting with one another, and Audrey ultimately winning. Sorry, Hal.
I'm down with it.
It's just the way it is. Next up is me. Now is the time of the show where I'm going to say some comedy words, and I really want to be honest. I feel like everyone here probably knows this, but I'm not really a normal stand-up comedian. I cannot, for the life of me, do a stand-up set without first telling you, the audience, the major themes of my stand-up set. I do not know what made me this way. Maybe it's because I got a liberal arts degree. Often wondered if that was worth it, but one time, many years ago, I was making a social media post, and I spelled the name of the German philosopher Nietzsche correctly on the first try. And I said to myself, yes, that one social media post is worth $30,000 plus interest. Maybe not worth it. Maybe not worth it, because actually, I have always been like this. I remember a time when I was about 7 years old, and I was playing with a bunch of other kids. We were all deciding what made-up superpower we were going to have. We were going around in a circle, and we came to me, and I said, I'm going to have a bionic arm. I think I like to pretend to be strong because I feel bad that I'm not strong in real life. And all of the children looked at me like I had murdered the concept of fun forever. So hopefully that won't happen here tonight. So the major theme of my stand-up, And if you're a fan of this theme, by all means, feel free to applaud. The major theme of my stand-up is authenticity. That man reacted without authenticity, which I suspected would happen. I have been thinking about this a lot. I think there's a lot of things that are kind of plastic and distant. There's some great technology that connects us. Hello, live stream audience. And there's other technology that is, devised by rich tech bros to divide and silence us to make capitalism easier and faster. I'm not a big fan of that one. So I've been thinking a lot about who other people are, how we can connect with them. Who am I? I've been really wrestling with those big, important philosophical questions. Who am I and why am I here? Those are also the questions that I'm afraid someone is going to yell at me every time I go to a party. Who are you? Why are you here? So in order to be ready for that, I've been trying to look into my own past. I've been lucky to travel to some of the places that my ancestors actually come from. In the last couple of years, I have visited the English city of Nottingham, and I have visited the Scandinavian nation of Norway. Now, Nottingham is the home of Robin Hood, and Norway is the home of the Vikings. So clearly, my true identity is stealing shit. Maybe giving it to the poor, or is another option holding on to it for 2,000 years and putting it in a museum. Which I actually did see in Norway, a great display of shit that the Vikings stole. Included, there was this little bracelet that they stole from some Scottish person 2,000 years ago, and it basically looked like a junior high school kid's friendship bracelet. Really made the Vikings look like assholes. Really made me feel bad about myself. Anyway, first I got to go to Nottingham, and I wanted to go to Nottingham because that is where the entire bloodline of Scrimshaws come from. If there was a time traveler who hated Scrimshaws and wanted to end us all, they could go to Nottingham and stop everything, even this Scrimshaw beer, from happening. So I thought it'd be interesting to go to Nottingham and maybe try to find some of my ancestors who might be buried in the city graveyard. So I found this website that allows you to find the exact location where dead people are buried. And the name of this website is Deceased Online. Which I was very entertained by because it sounds like such internet speak. Like, this is how someone would have reacted to a Grumpy Cat meme in 2014. OMG, it is so funny. I am deceased online. Beautiful Grumpy Cat. So, gave a lot of money to Deceased Online to locate a couple of Scrimshaws in the Nottingham City grave. They gave me these beautiful pictures with these nice, clean rows of tombstones showing exactly where my relatives were buried. I arrived at the graveyard in Nottingham, and it was not nice, even, clean rows. It was a gothic fever dream. Written by Mary Shelley, directed by Tim Burton, and art directed by motherfucking Satan himself. There were all of these jagged, crumbling tombstones just jutting out of the earth at all these upsetting angles. It looked like the broken teeth of a dead god that had tried to swallow the earth. It was beautiful. I love this place. But I could not find my relatives because many of the tombstones had actually merged with nearby trees. And you would come to a tombstone and it would say, "In loving memory of," and then a gnarled tree branch had grown over the name, like a censored bar over a naked crotch. No idea who was buried there, so I could not find any of the relatives I was looking for. Luckily, my wife Sarah was able to find a couple of random Scrimshaws that I may or may not be related to. Some siblings, there's Phoebe and William Scrimshaw. And William had a little inscription right under his name that said, "In the midst of life, we are in death." And I thought, I think I'm related to this guy. He sounds like a lot of fun at parties. If he went to a party and somebody yelled, "Who are you? Why are you here?" William Scrimshaw would just be like, "In the midst of life, we are in death. Let me in." Love this guy. It's very beautiful. Stood and stared at the tombstone for a while, and then it was time to go. And as we were leaving the graveyard, I actually saw something that moved me even more than meeting my ancestors. And it was a warning sign about what not to do in the graveyard. It wasn't a simple warning sign, though. It had 4 panels, like a cartoon strip. It was like a special created by Charles Schultz called "Don't Do This in the Graveyard, Charlie Brown." It was an epic narrative. The first panel was a picture of a figure urinating on a grave while being recorded by a security camera. Just the first panel. The second panel was a security guard actively watching the urination footage. The third panel was the urination footage streaming on YouTube. And the fourth panel was just a giant novelty-sized pair of handcuffs. And when I had absorbed this entire epic story, I was left wondering, which of these figures is supposed to be arrested? Person urinating, the person who posted the urination on the website? What is going on? Maybe it's not even a warning sign. Maybe it is just a very elaborate personal ad for people with specific kinks. No shame, no judgment. Just don't urinate on William and Phoebe, please. So this is an amazing experience I had in Nottingham. But when I walked away, I wasn't sure that I really found out more about who I was. I just saw some cool stuff, and I wanted to share that with all of you. So then I went to Norway just this last month, and it was also an amazing experience. Perhaps the best part, we were on this small cruise ship, and it was going around the fjords of Norway. My favorite fjord is the one that was the most beautiful and the easiest to pronounce. And this fjord was the Troll Fjord. And even though I said it was the easiest to pronounce, I am not even remotely pronouncing it correctly. The correct pronunciation has like 17 undulations, like a rickety roller coaster at a county fair. There was a nice Norwegian woman who tried to get me to say Troll Fjord correctly. And I tried, and then I had to stop because I realized I was just doing a deeply offensive impression of the Swedish chef from the Muppets. Just doubly offensive to a Norwegian because it's a comedy Muppet and he's fucking Swedish, for God's sake. So I'm just going to say Troll Fjord and apologize that it is deeply incorrect. So the Troll Fjord is amazing. The cruise ship is coming down this narrow passage between 2 just massive rocky mountains on either side. There's this deep, dark blue water that we are churning through. We are headed toward this glorious green valley that just extends into the sky, which is pink and orange, even though it's midnight, because the midnight sun will not set in Norway. And what is perhaps the most beautiful about this is gathered on the front of this cruise ship. It's about 60, maybe 70 people, all different ages, from all different nations, and no one is speaking. Everyone is awed into a hushed silence by sheer natural beauty. And then, a drunk German man shoved himself between me and the rest of my family and said, "So, Americans, huh?" We didn't say anything, so he followed up with, "So, Trump." And I was like, "No, not here, not now, not in the Troll Fjord, please." But he continued. He said, "Is Trump going to win?" And we all kind of mumbled, like, well, we have hope that everything will turn out. Please take the hint. And he did not take the hint. He continued. He said, "In America, You are so divided. There's so much division in America. We in Europe don't understand this division. And that broke me. It's like, really, man from Germany? You don't understand division. I hate to bring this up, but in the history of the world, there have only been 2 world wars. Who was the primary antagonist in both of those? We here in America just don't understand. I mean, for God's sakes, the one thing that the whole world can be united on is understanding division. It happens to everyone. The German man is doing it to us right now. Now, to be very clear, I did not actually say any of that. I just thought it very loudly in the hopes that he would hear. He did not. So he continued, so how do you fix the division? How are you going to fix the division? And I finally said out loud, probably not tonight on this cruise ship. And he finally took the hint and went on to a different, slightly less obnoxious topic. And I thought, yes, being passive-aggressive. That is where I am a Viking. Thank you. Thank you. So, once again, a beautiful, moving experience, but I don't know if I really figured out who I am based on that. But once again, it was a fun thing that happened to me, so it was nice to just say it to all of you. And the more I do things like that, and the older I get, I think perhaps one of the most authentic things about being a human, particularly an aging human, is that we deeply just want to say things that we saw to other people. And I understand that everybody does this at all ages, but as I get older, it feels more imperative. It's like that sign, if you see something, say something. Except instead of being about terrorism at an airport, it's about everything I ever saw or experienced in 50 fucking years. I'll be talking to a younger person, and out of the blue, I'll just say, well, you know, in 1984, I was at my grandma's house, and I saw Mary Lou Retton at the Olympics. And God bless the younger people, they will try. They'll be like, okay, we weren't talking about Olympics or grandmas, but I'll bite. Oh, was that a really formative experience for you? Did you want to become a gymnast? And I'll be like, no. And they'll be like, oh, is this about your grandma? Did you really love her? Do you really miss your grandma? And I'll be like, no. She was a cruel woman and she died alone. And the younger person will be like grasping at straws and saying like, oh, this is about the year 1984. Was that like the best year of your life? And I'll be like, no, I just saw it. It happened, it was real, and I need someone else to know. And the younger person will be like, oh, I get it. Is this like a conspiracy theory thing? Like it's a Berenstein Bears thing? Like some people believe there's a universe where Mary Lou Retton wasn't at the Olympics in 1984. And I'll be like, no, you're not getting it. There is no story. There is no life lesson. I was not changed on that day. Please, I'm begging you, just fucking sit there and let me tell you shit I saw. And I think that's healthy. I think it's normal. I think we all want to share things we saw, that we heard. We all want to feel that the lives we lived might live on, even if those lives bore the living shit out of people who love us. So, in that spirit, I would like to close my stand-up set by sharing just a couple other things that I saw in the last 50 years or so. And to make this more graceful and beautiful, please welcome to the stage my wonderful wife, Sarah Scrimshaw. As I share, Sarah is going to do some wonderful dance. If we're ready in the tech booth, this is a piece I like to call Anyway. One time, in college, I saw a squirrel drag a whole Hostess fruit pie out of the garbage. I watched that squirrel eat the entire thing in front of God and everybody. Anyway. Back in Minneapolis, I had to pee in a bar. But there was a big security guard, and he wouldn't let me go into the public bathroom. It turned out Prince was in there. Anyway. In 1989, they made Batman cereal. Sometimes I tried to eat it without ever moving my neck, just to feel more like Batman. Anyway, I was on Hollywood Boulevard once, and a man yelled at me that I should be president of the United States because my leather jacket was very trustworthy. Anyway, I was visiting my dad in Minneapolis, and I bought a lot of action figures. I didn't have enough room in my suitcase, so I left my pants at his house. I was 49 at the time. Anyway, one time in college, I saw a squirrel. Oh, I already said that one. I'm saying it again. One time in college, I saw a squirrel drag a whole Hostess fruit pie out of the garbage. I watched that squirrel eat the entire thing in front of God and everybody. Anyway, one time in Los Angeles, I did a show for my 50th birthday in front of a bunch of pictures of creepy children and grumpy sailors. It was nice. Anyway. Anyway. Sarah Scrimshaw, everybody! And now, if I could please have the rest of the cast join me on the stage, please. Thank you for the bucket of suggestions. So I always like to play a fun game with all of my friends who are in the show with me. So we're going to play a game that Laser and I developed for a variety show that we were doing for a while there. And this is called Human Conversation, the game. So what we did is we took a normal human conversation, and then to make it even more stressful, we assigned points to it. So thank you all for the suggestions. What has happened is I'm going to pull out these suggestions that I have never seen. I'm going to assign them to one of our wonderful guests, and it will be their responsibility to hold a conversation good enough that they earn the points. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Excellent. We are going to begin with you, Hal.
No.
Your topic for 804 points
Jesus.
is Cupid dolls. Please begin.
The Cupid dolls are, they feel kind of outmoded. Like I only would see them at like a state fair or something. But do they wear makeup? And is that, did they put that on themselves, or has somebody made up a bunch of babies and that's the premise of the doll? I truly don't understand what the deal is with this. Has anybody experienced anything with Cupid dolls? Anybody out here? Anybody up here? Anybody?
I've seen them before. They were
Yeah.
very popular. I think they did have makeup on.
Yeah.
I think that's correct. I think we should put makeup on babies. I think it's funny and a good idea.
I once did a show by Sam Shepard called Shave Splits. Yeah, that was really appropriate. And there was this thing he wrote where you're supposed to dance in front of an entire headboard of aborted fetuses. And so the the person doing props took a bunch of Cupid dolls and spray painted them red and glued them all over the stage. It was awesome. That was my first good review.
Excellent place to end Hal's conversation. Wow. Sarah's keeping track. Please award some of Hal's points to Audrey.
Give her all of them, please.
Next up, Audrey, it is your turn to continue and see if you can out-disturb us on this topic. This is worth 5,000 points. The conversation that you'll be holding is cats versus bears.
It's what?
Cats versus bears.
Cats versus bears. It's so weird that you're asking me to say something different about them because they're really alike in a lot of ways. Like, they will go into your trash and eat things. They will scratch your eyes out in the middle of the night. The prettiest cats and the prettiest bears are brown. The ones not to be trusted are black. They have black fur, and if you stand up and go like this really loud, they'll get off the table.
Okay. We're gonna end the conversation there. Sarah, that was worth 5,000. I would like you to deduct 1 point from Audrey because that was not even remotely a conversation. That was your perfect 3-minute stand-up set. Please go to open mics with those exact words immediately. It was perfect. All right, can't read what that says. So for Laser, you are up next, and here is your topic. One-on-one fight with Darth Vader or 1-on-100 fight with Ewoks. This is for 889 points. And yes, by all means.
Sure. This microphone isn't picking up on the stream, so I'm going to take this one. A one-on-one fight with Darth Vader or 1-on-100 fights with Ewoks. Hey, Star stuff. What are your chances against Ewoks?
You have to go for Darth Vader. There's a redemption story at stake. The Ewoks are just assholes. They're going to eat you. They're going to cook you. Low-Grade's got a power problem, so you don't want to get involved in that kind of stuff. You just go for Vader.
Yeah. So he'll be easier to fight or more satisfying narratively?
Satisfied, you'll be dead. Everyone's going to be dead. The point of this is everyone's dead.
Great. Do you also feel nihilistic about your chances, Hal, on this fight?
I feel like Darth Vader's really easy to fight if you hide, because he will not try to find you. He'll just walk around talking, either to himself or to you to get you upset enough to come out, which would imply that he will not be able to find you, especially if it's dark. It might be something with the technology in his helmet.
Fantastic. I feel like I've learned a lot, and we've grown closer as friends. Thank you.
And conversation done. Excellent. Full points to Laser. And I am going to pass this good, high-quality mic to Ken. Your topic, sadly, they didn't write down any points, so this is just for funsies. Sorry, Ken. Your topic is animals at the office.
This is also 25 years in LA. It's not worth anything. Look, I gotta tell you, man, I love animals at the office. It's actually how I fell in love with my fiance. She had a little chihuahua. It had a security vest on. Who doesn't love a 5-pound security guard? It's great. And that's, I think it's a sign that in this crushing capitalistic society that at least we can have this small nugget of joy at the office. Hal, have you ever experienced this kind of joy with a small dog dressed in a comical manner?
I would say I would rather, 100% yes. And I would rather have an office full of animals and have the people stay at home. Because I don't want to have to talk to whoever, if you come over to speak to an animal, there's some implicit agreement that you have to also speak to the person. And I reject that entirely.
I think that's absolutely fair. Audrey, you look like a dog person, cat person, maybe a ferret person.
I'm all three. Yeah, all three. I think dogs in the office are okay, except when you work in a restaurant. I was a manager of a restaurant, and the owners would bring their dog in all the time, and they would constantly tell the patrons, like, he's half coyote, like that was supposed to comfort us. And he would sleep right where the kitchen is, and I just always thought, I wouldn't want to eat here, but, you guys are paying me $8 an hour under the table, so go for it.
That's fair.
Please give Ken 2,000 points for that. Actually, no, to match the number of years in LA, 2,500. You finally made it in LA. All right, Hal, please give me a speed conversation for 200 points about popcorn with or without flavored toppings.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good Lord. Laser, is there popcorn topping that you absolutely have to have? Like, you can't have popcorn without it, or are you okay going plain?
I honestly don't like popcorn that much, but this town has gotten real anarchic with it, where you can get like Lucky Charms marshmallows, and then I'm in. Then I'm in 100%.
It has to be something totally weird.
Yeah.
Totally, because
I'm just kind of cool like that.
the butter is incredibly unhealthy.
Sure.
Incredibly unhealthy. Anybody else have like a must-have topping?
Butter.
Mashed potatoes.
Butter, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, just all over there. It gets down the middle. Then you throw some Reese's Pieces on it.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, chocolate, popcorn. You're thrown out of every AMC.
And conversation. Excellent. Audrey, please give me a passionate speed conversation for 50 points about this topic. What is a moment you want to relive 1,000,000 times?
Oh, I want to relive this one 1,000,000 times. I was doing a show in Fort Lauderdale. It was a murder mystery show. It was an offsite. I was getting $200. It's the mid-'90s, and we had per diem money because we were out of town, and it was with these two gay guys. I was the straight girl, and we pooled our per diem money together. And my friend Tommy brought his Gay Guide USA book, because this is pre-internet really. And so we go to this one gay bar, and I was going to be their wingman all night. And I was going to go get tables. He went to go get the beers. Nobody was there. It was a dive bar, and I walk out there, and I've got stage makeup on. I'm not wearing a bra because I was skinny and I had no boobs, and I'm wearing flip-flops. And I'm out in the lounge area, and I just hear someone yell across the bar going, "You ain't fooling no one, drag queen." So, yeah, I want to live that one over. It lives rent-free in my brain. Yeah.
1,000,000 times, one down. Full points to Audrey. Laser, can you please give me for 2 points a speed conversation about haircuts?
Sure. Worst haircut you've ever gotten, Audrey, real quick?
My mom in 6th grade, the night before pictures, she said she didn't need to take me to the haircut place to get feathers because it came out in the 80s, and she did it herself, and it is the worst mullet you've ever seen.
Yeah. Hal, how about you?
I had really long hair when I was 14 years old, and I let a girl I had a crush on cut my bangs with children's safety scissors.
Oh, no. How about you?
The worst haircut I've got is nature over the course of the last 30 years. I look like Abe Vigoda under here.
Fantastic. And I've looked great my whole life.
Please give Laser double points for having great hair. And please give Ken 1 point for an Abe Vigoda reference. Final speed conversation from Ken Napzok for 420 points. I see what you did there. Favorite donut story?
Absolutely. 4 a.m. Burbank Donut Hut. You go there, you find out the creatures of the night come out, and they got the greatest donuts. People have little raspberry, Boston cream. They put bacon on it. They put a fucking steak on a donut. It's just a meat. It's just a big, sweaty, buttery meat on a donut. I lost 2 days of my life.
Full points to Ken, and now I'm very, very hungry. Sarah, can you come up here and let us know the tally with that flurry of points of who won Human Conversation, the game? Oh, there's still some math happening. The most exciting thing ever, live math. Soon to be an Olympic event.
Our winner is Audrey with 5,451 points.
Hey! Keep talking about drag queens, cats, and bears, Audrey. It's perfect. So if all of my friends can please stay here on the stage. I'm going to give this mic in just a moment to Laser. Laser has prepared a song during the show about aging, and I believe it's going to feature Batman. Tornadoes and joy, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Laser, everyone.
All right. Hi, everybody. So you're aging, but you're not alone. So is this person here. So is that man. We all feel the passage of time. Even me, even you, even Batman. Everybody. Even me, even you, even Batman. So let's all age together, hand in hand, every person and boy. Let's all age together, and let's do it together with joy. Everybody, let's do it together with joy. Great. Aging is something that we all do. Humans and dogs and potatoes. Time goes in a line for all living folks. Doesn't spin in a swirl like tornadoes. Doesn't spin in a swirl like tornadoes. Very good. That was your cue, so good job. You picked it up. Sometimes you find a person you think is cool, and through time you stick it through. It's nice to get older and closer as friends. Joseph Scrimshaw, happy birthday to you. Joseph Scrimshaw, happy birthday to you.
Laser, everybody! Laser! Some physical comedy to end the show. Exactly what I want to happen right before I turn 50. Something suddenly dropping lower. Perfect. Perfect way to end the show. Big round of applause for Hal Lublin. Audrey Kearns. Laser the Boy. Ken Napzok. My wonderful wife, Sarah Scrimshaw. Ken's daughter, Grace Hancock. Everyone watching at home and our wonderful tech, thank you very, very much for doing this show. Another show is going to sweep in here, so we are going to head out. We will be on the terrace, so if anyone would like to say hello, that's where we'll be. Once again, thank you all very much for making this birthday very special. Thank you.